Good afternoon. Welcome back to Nick Can't Game or Can He, my YouTube gaming channel. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons below, and heck, maybe leave a comment. Also, it looks like YouTube has a new feature called Hype. If you want to tap that button as well, that should help in getting a few more people to see these videos. Today we're going back into the City of Heroes. It's time to be a superhero again. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. And it's time to take our superheroic archer Star Caesar and be a hero again. So let's flip over to the game and let's have some fun. Okay, that's annoying. So here we are back in King's Row. Let's see. Here is our contact. And let's see what missions he has for us. Gonna have to step closer, I guess. I've read all about you, especially the work you've been doing in taking the fight back to the Skulls and putting down their Paragon operation. I have to say I'm impressed. Back in the day, Brawler, along with the rest of the regulars, and I would have stopped all the Paragon business, but it seems that bad apples do indeed stink up the place. As you are well aware, Paragon is back on the streets, and the Skulls are pushing at something awful. Star Caesar, King's Row needs a new group of regulators, and I'm not the only one who thinks you should lead it. Well, that's interesting. The Lords of Death, Part 1, Knock Knock. Listen, Star Caesar, the regulators aren't what we used to be. Hell, I know I look pretty ridiculous putting on my old costume, but right now the people need to see the heroes out in force, now more than ever. That's why I want you to represent the regulators here in King's Row, to give all these people that lost everything in Galaxy City a ray of hope again. I'm committed to this even if it is just you and I. Unfortunately, things are pretty dark at the moment. The Skulls have taken it in the teeth, and their leader, Velis Petrovic, isn't taking it lying down. With his brother Chernobog behind bars, Velis is striking out with a vengeance at anything that threatens his gang. New legislation to crack down on Paragon dealing here in Paragon City has apparently caused attention, and in response we've had a string of assassinations against city officials that have supported it. Velis' scare tactic looks like it just might do the trick and silence the city council before they can even vote. A lot of people need your help, Star Caesar. Do you want the job? Absolutely. I'll join you in representing the new regulators. That's the spirit. I knew I could count on you. Now I may be not be as good in the fist fight as I was back in my heyday, but I've still got an eye for details and planning. My guess is that the Skulls are going to target Councilman Hammett sometime before his speech tomorrow to the City Council. I want you to head over to Hammett's offices and provide him with some extra security. On the way. Okay. Something here isn't right. And I guess we're about to find out what that is. On the floor inside, you see the bodies of both PPD officers and family goons. It's quiet. Too quiet. At first look, Councilman Hammond appears to be unconscious, but then you see his cold, lifeless eyes and the look of terror frozen on his face. He is very, very dead. You find a single cut on Hammond's right hand, but while it's deep, it isn't lethal. Scrawled into his own blood on his shirt, however, you read the following message. The Lords of Death are watching. Suddenly you hear voices elsewhere in the building. We ain't alone. Spread out and take 'em out. So we got a dead councilman on our hands. That's not good. Don't beat yourself up about it. You did everything you could with the information we had. Now we have more information. The assassin is almost certainly a member of the Skulls. However, what's concerning me is that the family is involved. Star Caesar, I've learned over the years to trust my instincts, and my instincts are saying there's more to this than the family is letting on. Something very big is happening here, bigger than I originally thought. Part 2. Deadly Little Girl. Listen, I have some old contacts that kept tabs on the goings on inside the family. I'll talk with them and see what they know about the family's presence here in Kings Row. This is way outside of their normal turf. In the meantime, I've narrowed down the most likely target for the next assassination attempt by Bella's assassin. Councilwoman Simmons just finished a press conference demonizing the Skulls for their assassination of Councilman Hammett, and now she's about to take up Hammett's work and make sure the Skulls are brought to justice for their crimes against Paragon City and the citizens of Kings Row. It's like she's painting a bullseye on her own forehead. I'll get over to her office right away. One last thing, watch your back. The more I think about this situation, the worse feeling I get. This whole thing stinks of this family trying to pave the way to keep the Skulls in business. Ever since Sebastian Frost took over the family business from his late old man, the family's taken great pains to appear hands-off when it comes to the Paradigm. Just be careful. I want to see you end up like Mina. This mission is of a higher difficulty than normal. You may want to bring a teammate. No, I don't think so. Okay. The family has goons all over this building. Have you arrived too late? Well, I guess we're gonna find out now, aren't we? Really? Okay. Nothing over here. Let's turn these into a blue for endurance when we need it. Alright, Councilwoman. They're gone now. No, I'm not here to kill you. I'm a superhero. Security, man, those were family goons? Why, yes, Sebastian Frost did provide me with some of his voice for security, but it wasn't anything illegal. The Skulls are targeting city officials that are putting our foot down to combat their superparadigm dealing. Mr. Frost simply shares my point of view on the problem. Wait, the family wants to stamp out superparadigm in Kings Row? Councilwoman Simmons appears to be ready to be comment on that when she pauses suddenly and looks around nervously. Did you feel that? Feel what? Ow. Alright, go to the hospital. Stock back up on inspirations. And get back out there and put a beating down on that person. Grab some Lux. Time to get back into the fight. Okay. Make myself harder to hit with the luck inspirations. Increase my damage and accuracy. And swing back into the fight. And she ran away, which is good for us, because lucks don't hold out forever. I don't know what to say. Start at the beginning. Frost came to me with a very sensible proposal. He wanted to clear his family name of the stain his father had put on it all those years ago. The link between his family and the street drug called Paragon. I wanted to believe that he was doing it for the good of Paragon City, but deep down I knew he wasn't. Keep going. I empathize with him. I understand the difficulty that a parent's decisions can have on their children. Councilwoman Simmons grows upset and wipes at the corner of her eye. It's okay, you can talk about it. It's my husband, Carl. You see, he's very ill, and to be honest, I'm not sure how much longer he has. We've been keeping it a secret because, well, his illness was caused by his drug addiction. If the press were to learn of this, it would ruin our careers. Worst of all, our son Albert would have to live with our failures hanging over him like a shadow, just like Sebastian Frost has had to live with his father's mistakes. I just wanted to find a way out. Frost said that he would be willing to have some specialists come in and see what they could do for Carl, but only if I helped him. Standing up against the Paradigm seemed to be a suitably appropriate favor given the situation. I thought it was a sign that good things were to come. I know it was a bribe, but I was thinking of my family. We have the option to arrest her or keep her secret. Um, at this point, we'll keep her secret. I see now that Sebastian Frost has just been using my position in the city council and the positions of others like John Hammett to further his own ends. While I'll stand up against Paradigm, I will refuse Mr. Frost's offer. Thank you for giving me a second chance. The city needs people like you with a good heart, and one mistake doesn't make you a villain. Exit the mission and call our contact. Things are definitely getting interesting. I learned from my contacts that Frost and his family have been meeting with city council representatives for the past few days, trying to drum up support to fight Paradigm, all in the name of clearing his family's good name. Apparently the Skulls have told Frost and his family to find someone else to peddle their drugs for them, and the Skulls have found their own way of making Paradigm, cutting out their reliance on Frost and his suppliers. Now Frost wants to teach them a lesson, and so he's going to make it very hard for the Skulls through political backroom dealing. All of that is fine and dandy, but we have something more important to deal with. Part 3, Deep Cover. We need to find out where Velas and his Skulls are getting their Paradigm and shut it down. I'm afraid that squeezing gangbangers on the streets just isn't going to cut it this time. The Skulls have their back up against a wall here, and the only way we're going to learn who or where they're getting their supply from is if they want to talk to you. So you want me to go deep undercover then? That's the idea. I've already talked to Paula Dempsey about outfitting you with just the right disguise to fit right in with the Skulls. She can give you more details on it. All you need to do is get in with them and listen. If we can find Velas, then we'll find their supply. Until then, just follow your instincts. I'll be monitoring you from afar in case you get into any trouble. Yeah, trouble is pretty much a given at this point. Hey, Star Caesar. Eagle Eye said you'd be coming by. Let me tell you, I've had some strange requests before, but this one takes the cake. Are you sure you want to be going undercover into the skulls? Sounds pretty risky to me, but then again, I'm no hero. Here's your disguise. I fitted it with a couple of experimental odds and ends that should be able to mask even the most eccentric hero from being recognized by the average street thug. Just be careful not to let it get shot or anything. That could be bad. I've also got your disguise hooked up with a nano mic and earpiece so you can keep in touch and eat with Eagle Eye and on the sly. Oh, I almost forgot. Eagle Eye told me to give you this tracking beacon, just in case things go sideways and he needs to swoop in and rescue you. Let me know when you're ready to suit up. I'm ready to infiltrate the skulls. After a few days masquerading as a skull, you find out about this hideout. Someone in here is bound to know a thing or two about Velez and the Superadyne lab. Listen to the skull's conversations for clues. You overheard the skulls talking about a guy named Shatterjaw guarding the elevators upstairs. Interesting, Star Caesar. You should be able to convince the Shatterjaw that you're here to fight in the ribcage. Okay. This must be Shatterjaw. Hey, what can I do for you? I want to go upstairs. Nah, only fighters competing to become a Bone Daddy or Death Doll can get to go upstairs and you don't look like one of them. Not yet, I don't. Alright, alright. I'll let Bone Dust know we got some fresh meat coming upstairs. Eagle Eye says, Bone Dust? I've heard of him. He's been in the skulls forever. He's our best lead yet. Go upstairs and talk to Bone Dust. You ladies should come with me to Velez's party tonight. We really want to meet him. Okay. So they're trying to get a meeting with Velez. I'm trying to fight in these here cage matches. And this must be Bone Dust. So I hear you want to try and join the ranks of the Death Dolls. That's right, I'm ready. Well, you sound ready, but only surviving the ribcage proves whether you are or not. I told you, I'm ready. You know that if you lose your life, right? A true skull isn't afraid of death. Well said. Go and talk to the fight organizer, he'll set you up with a match. And our friend Eagle Eye is telling us also try not to get hit in the face. It could disrupt our comms. Yeah. That seems like it makes a lot of sense. Plus, trying not to get hit in the face to begin with. Bone Dust gave you his approval. Alright, I hope you kissed your boyfriend this morning, babe, because today just might be your funeral. Hope makes you weak. Save it for your opponents. Step in the middle of the cage and prepare for the fight of your life. If they get out of my way. Oh no, not now. The PPD are swarming the building you're in. You have to get out of there. This is the Paragon Police Department. We have the building surrounded. Come out with your hands up and this can end peacefully. Escape into the sewers. This is very dark. I can't find the steps. Okay. Up the steps. You escaped from the PPD raid on the hideout and have convinced the Skulls that you are one of them. Time for them to lead you to Velas. Okay. This is where the Skull said that Velas was holding a rave. Time to crash the party. Okay. Let's create a lock because I might need it later. We have a problem. I know. So they're working with the with the trolls. Make another luck. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Defeat the door guards, rescue the ravers. Yeah, your boss's vision doesn't matter to me. You're as strong as Velas. Maybe he does fear you after all. Where did he go? He went to the lab with Ada, leader of the trolls. Ha 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 ha. You have no idea how big this hall is, do you? Where's the lab? There isn't a damn thing in the world you can do to me that will make me tell you that. You're right, I'm not a killer like you and your buddies. You'll never change a thing in this town if you aren't willing to kill for it. Think about it, Zero. If what you're fighting for ain't worth killing for, why bother? Not everything is about life and death. Of course it is. Everybody lives, Backbreaker reaches for a knife in his boot, and everybody dies. Knock him out. Backbreaker collapses, the knife falling out of his hand and skittering out the floor. He's unconscious. Plant your tracking beacon on Backbreaker. And leave the mission. Star Caesar. What the? Your tracking device shows that you're at the Royal Refinery. What are you doing here? You planted out one of the skulls to lead you to Velez in the Superadyne lab? Damn, girl, that's some smart thinking. Amazing work, my friend, amazing work. With one of the Petrovich brothers behind bars and the other on the run, the skulls are going to be licking their wounds for some time. Without the Superadyne lab or resupply from their backers, Superadyne in King's Row is going to be a thing of the past, at least for now, that is. The Lords of Death finale. Dance with Death. Assuming Backbreaker went to go find Velez, it would appear the skulls have set up their lab at the Royal Refinery. That makes perfect sense. The industrial chemicals going through there would completely mask the telltale signs of Superadyne production. The facility manager is probably being paid or blackmailed into letting Velez and the skulls set up shop there. It's time to shut Velez and the skulls Superadyne lab down once and for all. Be careful if even half of what the skulls say about Velez is true. He is a deadly opponent who believes he controls the power of death. Additionally, Morana is still a big question mark. She hasn't shown up since you stopped her from assassinating Councilwoman Simmons, but that doesn't mean she isn't part of the equation. Keep aware and make sure she doesn't get a drop on you. You might want to get some help for this one. Good luck. Actually, since I leveled up, I might want to get a new level of power. Go to Blue Steel. And level up. Okay. Train to a new level of power. Gain a new power of your choice. Alright. Explosive arrow, which is basically your snipe. And then at the next level I'll get my travel power, probably flight. But yeah, let's get the snipe now. Okay, let's sell these, all these enhancements. Okay. Let's see. Let's grab an accuracy enhancement for the snipe. And maybe a hold duration for the hold power. Okay. Okay. So next time I'm over in Steel Canyon, I can make some more enhancements. Okay. Okay. Powerful industrial chemicals match the telltale odor superadine being processed in here. Okay. Nothing there. The lead Star Caesar is here. How did she find us? Okay. Get a quick heal. Okay. Nothing down this way. All right. Okay. Who's hitting me? Okay. Okay. Ow. Okay. Okay. Where is my cursor? Where is the facility manager? Ow. Okay. Really? Oh, will you just follow? Where is this idiot? Follow me, you moron. And the mission is complete. And we contact our contact to let him know. We earned the Skullbuster badge. Not bad. Great work. The facility manager is being treated at Crown Memorial Hospital, and the Skull Suit Paradigm lab is already being put out by the fire department. Bellis and Morana may have escaped, but without their lab, the Skulls are going to have tough times ahead. You've done it. You busted the Skull Suit Paradigm ring. That's good to hear. Alright. Deadlock's personal story. Nothing personal, just business. A thought suddenly darkens Eagle Eye's demeanor as he reflects on events internally. Finally, he chooses to speak on them. I'm afraid I haven't been 100% forthcoming with information, Star Caesar. It's just, well, I didn't want to alarm you. Back Alley Brawler should be the one who's congratulating you for taking it out with Les and the Superadyne's lab. Unfortunately, he couldn't. You see, Brawler was investigating the Sun Surgeon Superadyne on the street himself. But when the Skulls caught wind of him snooping around their turf, the Petrovics desired to hire some outside help to take care of him. A contract killer named Deadlock. Deadlock and the regulators go way back. He's a high-priced killer, and drug lords have a lot of money, so you can imagine that we had run-ins with him from time to time. Deadlock put Brawler in the hospital. If you like, I can tell you all about it. This mission is a single-player mission only. Is Brawler okay? His pride is about as crippled as he is. but he's going to make a full recovery. When I heard this from Brawler, I knew the Skulls were up to something big here in Kings Row. I dusted off my old costume and carried on where he couldn't. Here, I'll tell you all about it. Okay, so we've got to go all the way back, fly over there. Okay. So it looks like we'll be doing this mission from the perspective of the villain, which should be interesting. Security tapes confirm that Deadlock slipped in through the submarine bay. You hitched a ride into Fort Trident on the belly of the submarine. Time to pay Michael White a visit for old time's sake. Okay. Okay, the words are too small on the screen for me to read. but the villain is apparently threatening the hero. And again, the words are too tiny on the screen for me to read them. Let's see if we can pull the captions up here. Okay, you used to be able to go a few rounds with me. You've gotten soft. So let's get the business out of the way before we catch up on old times. Who hired you? A pair of nut jobs called the Petrick Brothers. Seems you done got them worried enough that they hired me to take you out of the picture from them. If you came here to kill me, get it over with. If I was here to kill you, you'd be killed. I came here to offer you a life-changing experience just like you did for me. But in order to that, you're going to have to hit rock bottom. And when you wake up from that, I guarantee you'll be a changed man. So that's all the stuff that I didn't get to read because it was too tiny on the screen. So we got the mission complete. We got a badge saying you should see the other guy. Okay. And it looks like Twin Shot wants us back in Atlas Park. We'll accept the mission from her and do that on the next episode. Okay. Looks like we're in the big leagues with you landing us this gig through Manticore's little goon squad. We might actually get our chance up at that. No more sitting on the bench and patrolling back alleys and rooftops for the usual rabble, you know. However, if we're going to hit a home run, we got to make sure our bases are loaded, right? Okay, so I'm totally over these baseball metaphors. Are you ready to get down to business? Sounds good. What do you have in mind? We're official now, but we're still not ready for prime time. I'm the only one of us who has any formal training in this kind of thing. Well, maybe Grimm has some from those trials he went through. And Proton was the savior of the timeline he comes from. And I have no idea what those people taught him. Okay, so I guess I'm just talking about Flambeau here. But hey, that's not the point. Why don't I just cut to the chase? Proton is working on its ongoing research, but I think he might have some time to help you out with some of your enhancements. Why don't you stop by our new place and see if he can give you a hand? It would do a lot for him to get away from those screens for a bit too. So in our next episode, we are going to go and do that and begin the next arc from Twin Shot. In the meantime, we're going to call it an episode right here. Going to exit the game. And I thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate it very much. Your kindness, support, and love are something that I treasure. I love you all. Take my love with you everywhere you go. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember to be good to each other. It's the highest calling in all the world. Show each other kindness, compassion, mercy, and love. And I'll see you again very, very soon.